AI script bot slash AI sales trainer. You may or may not have ever heard that before. If you haven't, you may be wondering what in the world is that? If you have heard of an AI sales trainer, you may be wondering, is it actually helpful or is it just a waste of your time? Justin Borges, who is a top producing team lead and realtor located in the Los Angeles metro area, has been in the real estate industry for 10 years. And he just shared with me before we started recording that they are on track to do what they did last year in their sales volume by July of this year. So their goal is to double the number of their sales volume by the end of this year. So congrats to Justin for that. And he
Thank
attributed
you.
yeah, he attributed part of his success to training, especially because they bring in newer agents who need a lot more training. It's a lot to be a brand new agent in this space, especially today in 2024. But I'm sure part of that training comes from this AI sales trainers, AI script bot. So, Justin, what exactly is an AI script bot for those who don't know?
Yes, I'll give you my best understanding of it. And what it is essentially a line that you can call into, and it's already got kind of predetermined demeanor. And so it's really up to the person calling to ask the right questions to the bot. And so really what it helps us do on a high level is learn how to ask the right questions and learn how to dig a little bit deeper. And so that's mainly what we use it for. But you also will get a score at the end of it, depending on how long you stayed on the call, how many questions you asked, did you set the appointment? You will get a grade at the end. And so it's been a really great tool for us.
Yeah, and I think people who have heard about this are just kind of curious to see how the conversation goes and then how accurate the scoring goes. Although it may not sound like a true person and how a person may talk to you, the goal is to help you and your agents think on the fly. They can throw different objections at you, and you help you figure out different questions you can ask to redirect the conversation. There are other AI sales trainers out there, but the one that you currently use is specific for real estate. So what platform do you use for your AI trainer?
Yeah, we're using Maverick through White Lopo.
Very good. And as YLoper users, do you get this AI trainer for free or do you pay extra for this plus
It's
Maverick?
extra. So I believe the subscription is around $500 extra a month, but Maverick is out also a agent accountability platform as well. So it's kind of just a bonus that you get the AI sales coach as well.
Right. Well, if you're about to do, if you plan to do almost double transactions, I would say it's well worth the investment. But I want to put you
Absolutely.
on the spot because I know
Cool.
people are really curious. I think the only way we can explain it is by just doing like a live session, maybe a couple to do different
Yeah.
profiles of how those conversation goes. And then does it score you immediately or do you have to wait a little bit to get the score?
So you have to wait a little bit. My agents have been getting their scores emailed to them directly right after. For whatever reason, mine hasn't, but I can always go back into the platform and take a look at what that score is, usually about 15 to 20 minutes afterward.
Okay, maybe we can show like a previous session you did and show the
Yeah,
score there after this.
absolutely.
Awesome. Do
Cool.
you
Well,
mind
yeah.
screen sharing before we record and kind of showing like what it looks like, what your
Yeah.
options are for selecting the
So
practice?
this is the AI call tools platform within Maverick. And so you can see here that there are several different options. There are four underneath the buyer section here. You have standard buyer, irate buyer, confused buyer, and disinterested buyer. And then there are seller scenarios, which is great. Obviously, we need to be able to prepare for sellers as well. So standard seller, irate seller, confused, disinterested. So just like the buyers above. And then there's also seller and buyer scenarios. So each one of these personalities within these call lines will actually give you different objections. And I was mentioning to Elena that some of them are relevant, some of them are a little less relevant, but the point is that you should always be on your toes and be prepared for an objection. And it really teaches our agents to think quickly and come up with something even when they don't have something.
Yeah, and the good news is it's like very first variation, first version of this. You can think of it as
Yes.
like this is the worst it's ever going to be. And so if this is the worst it's ever going to be, it's pretty darn good. So I'm really,
That's
really
absolutely what we're telling our agents. And I think, if this is something that you're watching this and you're looking and getting into this, really just taking the mentality that I need to practice to be perfect and to be as good as I can be, and using this for that reason and being intent on believing the AI, right? You got to buy into it. You got to act into it, as you'll see me do, but it's only as good as you make it in that experience.
as part of, I'm sorry, I'm going off track and then we'll do the
Oh,
live
no
session.
worries.
But as part of your like expectations for your agents, do you have a requirement for them to either pass a certain score before they get certain leads, or do you have an expectation that they continue practicing X amount of times?
Yeah. So this is something that we're incorporating over the last month into our team, but we just onboarded 2 new agents, and part of their daily responsibility is to do 4 of these role plays a day. And so getting in as a brand new agent, there's just so much of a learning curve that we want to accelerate past that so much. And so as they continue to grow and get better, we will kind of wean them off. Like next week, it'll be 3 of these a day, and then eventually it'll be 2. But even our seasoned agents are required to do this on a daily basis, at least before they jump onto calls, because the tendency for most agents is just, oh, I have a calling session, let me start. Well, we're using this for our seasoned agents as a warm up, and I use it all the time. And I can say that my conversion rate is a lot higher than a lot of our agents, but hey, I'm not too good to, where I don't need this. I feel like it's a great warm up for calling sessions.
That's awesome. Well, let's hear one.
Yeah, let's do it. Cool. So I have here the disinterested buyer line. And so I'll call that and I'll put it on speaker and we'll give it a shot.
Hello, this is Nina.
Hi, Nina.
Yeah, hi, who's this?
Hey, Nina, it's Justin Borges with Keller Williams. How you doing today?
I'm okay. Not sure why you're calling though.
Yeah, Nina, we had connected a few months back in regards to your home search, and I just wanted to give a quick call and kind of see where you're at with everything.
Oh, right. I'm just browsing and not sure I'm ready to do anything.
I totally understand that, Nina, and I guess what had you looking at homes in the first place?
Just thinking about it as an investment, maybe. Not really sure.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Investment properties are great. What's important to you about looking for an investment property?
I guess something that could be rented out easily or sold if I need to move.
I see. Okay. I know when you were connected on the website, you were looking in the Pasadena, California area. Is that still the area that you're looking for this investment property in?
Yeah, Pasadena's still good.
Okay. Got it. Are you living in the Pasadena area now?
No, I'm renting in downtown LA.
Oh, renting in downtown. That's awesome. My office is in downtown. Which part of downtown are you in?
Near the Arts District.
Oh, I love the Arts District. I go over to the breweries over there all the time. That's really cool. How long have you been there for, Nina?
About 2 years now.
Oh, Nina, you cut out. What was that?
2 years.
Okay. So Nina, when you're looking for an investment property, have you considered what you might be looking for as far as a return goes on your investment monthly?
Not really. Just want something that makes sense financially.
Okay. Have you considered what you might put as a down payment for this investment property?
Haven't thought that far yet.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, Nina, I guess in a perfect world, when would you be purchasing this investment property?
Not sure. Maybe in a few months.
Okay. In a few months, what's important to you about the next couple months?
Just busy with work and travel.
Ah, I see. What do you do for work?
I'm a consultant.
Oh, cool. What type of consultant are you?
Business strategy mostly.
That's awesome. How long have you been doing that for?
It's been about 5 years.
Okay. 5 years. That's a long time. Nina, have you been pre-qualified for a loan yet or spoken with the lender?
Not yet.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, based on what you're telling me, it seems like you're looking for a place in the next couple months. And it seems like it's important to get in investment properties for you to have a little bit more flexibility. Would it make sense for us to get a cup of coffee and talk a little bit more about the process?
Before we do anything, I actually wanted to ask you something.
Sure.
My tax advisor suggested buying a home could be beneficial for tax deductions, but I'm not sure how that would work. Can you explain?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are purchasing an investment property, when you purchase it, you do get a nice depreciation schedule. So depending on your purchase price, when you are doing your taxes, you'll actually get a nice credit back as far as what you can write off. So it's very beneficial to own a income property. Is that something that is drawing you to purchasing this property?
Atrium. Okay, that makes sense. I actually have one more question.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not sure owning a home fits into my travel heavy lifestyle. Isn't it just easier to keep renting?
You know, it really just depends on your goals, right? I mean, if you are looking to have long-term investments in real estate and gain equity over time and really just build a nice portfolio for yourself, because obviously renting, you're just kind of throwing your money away month after month. So tell me a little bit more about what your goal is with this investment property so I can better understand.
I travel a lot, so I don't want to deal with maintenance.
Okay. So if we were to find a way to help maintain the property while you're away, is that something that might help you?
Yeah, that could help.
Okay. Nina, would it make sense for us to grab a cup of coffee on Tuesday of next week? Talk a little bit more about this?
I need to know more about your experience first.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm a team leader of 18 agents and been doing it now about 10 years. And so we're on track to do around $75 million in business this year. And so definitely have helped plenty of clients like yourself purchase investment properties. Um, Anything else I can tell you?
That sounds good. Let's meet next week on Sunday morning.
Okay. You know, I'm actually going to be in downtown LA on Sunday morning. What's your favorite coffee shop? And we'll meet there.
How about Blue Bottle Coffee in the Arts District?
Blue Bottle in the Arts District. Okay, cool. Sunday at 10 a.m. Okay. Nina, are you there?
Yeah, 10 at our works.
Okay, great. I'll see you then.
All right, see you then.
Bye-bye.
Hey, great job.
Yeah, thank you.
That was a curveball. Do you usually get an AI asking about investment instead of primary?
Actually, that's the first time. So that one did
How
catch me
funny.
a little off guard.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, I wanted to roll with the scenario, but I would question if they have a primary, you know, already, because it is a little odd to buy, but it sounds like she travels a lot for work
Yeah,
as a
right.
consultant.
How funny. So let's take a look at what one of your scores, how they score you. I know we can't look at this
Yeah.
one because it takes a bit, but we can look at a previous one.
Sure. Yeah, let me take you into that here. So this program will actually score your agent's calls as well, live calls. So it will score not only the AI role play, the AI coach, but it will score regular calls, which is great too. And the main thing that it does that I really like is it asks it'll tell you whether or not your agent asked for the appointment, which is really nice to see. Okay. So I'll go ahead and filter this. Let's see here. So we have a lot of agents that will call and then hang up, and so it doesn't get graded here, but you can see one of our agents here. This is our new onboard. So you can she called 4 times already today, which is exactly what we need her to do. First time, I'm not sure what happened. Looks like she hung up quickly. The second time she got a 7. She set the appointment, and it's a short-term nurture. Again here, set the appointment, they rated it an 8, and then also a short-term nurture. And the agent will actually get a more detailed report. I don't think they've released it yet to where we can get that, but it will tell you need to empathize more, or you need to ask more questions. And so it really gives some really good data. I wish I had that to show you here, but it just, for whatever reason, it doesn't send it to me. It's a bug.
Yeah, well, that's cool that they get that. They need the most practice. Do you get to see that in any other way? Like, can you log in and see your recommendations on Maverick, or does it have to come in an email?
Yeah, not for myself yet, and it's possible that there's a way, but everyone else, by all accounts, is getting the report email to them right after the call. So I'll try to forward you one after this so that you can see it, and have a little bit more context. But to my knowledge, the grading comes about the amount of questions that you ask. And you can see there, like, I was asking a lot of questions, right? Not only to display, but that's how I get a lot of business done, is by asking people questions. And so it was really something that we want our agents to do more and more, is ask questions. What's important about that? How long have you worked there for? What do you like to do when you're not working? You know, all these little things. And that's what's so great about this, is it's kind of just, how many questions can you ask the bot and be sincere about it, right?
Yeah. And my curiosity is piqued, so we may need to do another video at a different time just to go over Maverick, because I saw like top most common objections. I saw that on anher
Oh yeah, and that
page.
they were having a bug on that, but let's see if that let's see if that is legitimate, because it is. Yeah, people are reporting layoffs.
Don't bug me no
Doesn't know what to
more.
say. I don't. What was it?
Don't bug me no more.
Oh yeah, scammed by fraudulent people. So I don't think all of these are our top objections, to be honest. But you see, mobile homes, times are tough. These are actual responses we've gotten from people, but I don't think typically the largest word is supposed to be the most common objection. Let's see if the AI has something different. Yeah, not really into home decor renovations, need some assurance now. So I know that, to your point, this is as bad as it's going to be, and they're still working through some things. And you saw on the call that she glitched kind of a little bit, but then I just prompted her to continue. And so, you know, there will be agents who are like, well, it just doesn't work right, or they want to complain about every little thing that they can. But in reality, you just saw how serious I took that conversation, and I'm now ready to have a conversation with a buyer today because I did that. So I think that's, like, at the core, what they have to realize is, as serious as you take this, is as serious as you'll take your calls.
Yeah, for sure. And just as a way to see whether or not it helps, continue to practice yourself and get your score higher, and then see how that plays out in your real life of when you're doing those real calls. Do you see yourself feeling more confident and better at converting leads into appointments?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, and that's the big thing, is, you know, that you saw there, the AI, I did ask for the appointment, but if you just keep asking questions, the AI will eventually set the appointment for themselves, which is pretty funny. But you know, the point is that's training you that at the end of a call, you should be setting an appointment regardless of where they're at in the stage. That's how a call ends. And so it's just these little things like that that I really love about this, and being able to look, we're not just telling the whole team, hey, go and do this. We're training them on it. We still have our normal script practice. And then after script practice, everyone needs to jump on and do one call with the bot. So it's not like a hands off the wheel, let the bot take over. You still have to give them the tools they need to succeed in this business.
Yeah.
But this is just a great supplement for them to have a sounding board and warm up for calls, when if they always called me or their teammates, then we wouldn't get anything done, you know?
Right. Yeah. Unless you hired someone in-house just to do role plays with them.
Yeah. Exactly. So this has just been a huge leverage piece for us. And like I just said, I mean, sometimes we won't even ask, of course, we'll ask a little bit of sales stuff, but how I continue to ask her about her job and all of these different things, we're telling some of our agents, hey, we're listening to your calls and you're not connecting on a personal level. And so practice this with the AI bot and go deeper into some of these. I mean, I've really played around with this. I mentioned to you before we jumped on the call, one of the things I do is I prompt the bot and I'll say, hey, we actually met on the golf course last week. And you had mentioned that you were looking to sell your home. So I just wanted to follow up. And I'll kind of just go into the whole thing of, yeah, like I'm going to be back out there this week. Do you want to catch around with me? And they're very casual. And so I wanted to see, like, what are the limits of this, you know, and it's actually very impressive.
Well, yeah, and the fact that you were naming very specific things about your area and it caught on, like it says, I live in the arts district, and then
Yeah.
oh, let's meet at Blue, whatever that was, Blue
Blue
Bottle.
bottle. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was one thing I discovered and blew my mind. So now whenever I set an appointment, I'm like, what's your favorite coffee shop? Because it's just so cool. Because it's like Chat GPT, right? Just
Just
pulling
searching.
data and giving a response. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate the overview. I think people will find this really helpful. It kind of demystifies what this is. So yeah, I really appreciate it. I'm sure people will
Yeah,
appreciate
happy
it as well.
to continue demonstrating this. And at any point you have any other questions or you guys have questions, you can always reach out to me or Elena on this. So
Awesome. Well, thanks, Justin. You have a good rest of your week.
all right, you too.
Bye-bye.